Hiya, we're still at Cleethorpes. I brought the Fimi X8 SE with me, 2020. Basically, we just flew the Xeno 2 Plus in the previous video. Didn't go too well. I think we're going to have to return that drone. It may just be a dodgy example of it. It just doesn't seem right for some reason. Anyway, we've got our faithful Fimi X8. I reckon we're going to do okay. So let's check our settings. You must get bored of this bit as we do it every time. We click off there and we click record, and basically that's how good it is. Basically we should have plenty of SD card space. It doesn't moan about the speed of the SD card. We've always had really good 4K 30 footage with this drone. So let's do a takeoff. I'll tell you what, it's so much quieter than the Hubsan, I'd say. It is sort of flying about a bit because it is windy today, so maybe the Hubsan had a bit of problem because of that. But actually, this drone is so much more manoeuvrable than the Hubsan, I'd say. You know, the Hubsan was just really difficult. It was flying all over the place, it was losing altitude, although the Fimi just did then. But yeah, we just wanted to get this Fimi out, maybe test out the waypoints going down the beach. So yeah, let's take it up, let's see how we get on. But you know, I've always loved the footage from the Fimi. The only thing I'd say is you get tilted horizon a little bit. You kind of got to drop the gimbal down a bit, or else you get like propeller blades reflecting stuff, so that's a shame. But yeah, actually I don't want to bank it, I want to spin it round, and I want to take a look across the beach area. There we are, that's Cleethorpes. It's looking quite nice today. It is windy, it is cold, but I tell you what, this Fimi never lets us down. So let's see if we can go into some of the flight modes. We want to do waypoints, and I think it's a beeline. Okay, so yeah, and then basically we can zoom it down a bit. You want to go to the pier, I think, at the. It's not coming up with the point of interest. Right, so it's going there. It should do 60 meters up the beach, 66 meters as a height, and then what we want to do. So basically, we're happy with that. Then I think we want it to come back down again, so I think you just hang on. So drag a point of interest. Can you put it there? No. I tell you what though, even though this is a bit drag a point of interest, here we go, and that takes you back down again, and then you do that, add. Now we should go 1, 2, it should go back. So okay, so right, so how do we start this one going? Are we happy with that? Is that right? Yeah, it should start going, shouldn't it? Right, so locate waypoints on the map. Yeah, it's up there, I think. You gotta. It's not doing what I wanted. Hang on, have we not? Can we get a list of them? Target distance is limited to 1,000 meters. Yeah, that makes sense. We don't want to go too far, but we basically it should. That point of interest is there. So why won't it go then? Yeah, no, that's fine. No, we don't want to go there. We don't want to go there. Hang on. No, we hang on a minute. Let's bin them. Let's bin these points of interest. So here we go. We want to go there. We then want to do another. We're going to drag a point of interest to here. So add. Is it now going to go? I don't know. I'm confused. I'm really confused by this. You know, this is why no one uses the waypoints mode. No one uses it because it just gets too difficult to. Right, we'll have to delete those, delete it all. Just delete these, and let's see where we get to. Right. So what I want to do is a point of interest. I want to go up the beach. Right. then add that, right? I want another point of interest to there. Is it going to go to these places? Is it going to fly between them? It just doesn't seem to be doing it, does it? Just, I'm confused. Right, start again. Waypoint, you just wait, you waste so much time. What does in-flight do? Here we go. Yeah, this might be a bit better. Okay, over there. Hang on, plus. I don't understand what's going on here. Oh, forget it. This is just mad. These things should be... I mean, I did waypoints before and I never had a problem. And now, I don't know, maybe it's one of the updates. It just feels like it's not very good anymore. Right, that's what I want. I want it to go there. Have a look. Add. And then I want it to come back, really. How can I not do that? How can I not get it to come back again? I don't know. This really just feels like, again, a completely difficult thing to make work right. No, that is not going to work, is it? So let's forget it. It's rubbish. Right, okay. I'm sure in the comments people will tell me that it's not that bad. But basically, let's go down the beach. Let's have a look. Right, I've got to start recording again. It must have stopped recording when you do the waypoints mode. So let's go and have a look down the beach. One thing to say though, that the Fimi just seems so much more, because apart from the waypoints there, let's see how our FPV goes. Will we get break up? Will we have any issues? I want to go down to that pier further down the beach, but I just think with the Hubsan that we just tried, it just wouldn't, it was breaking up. There was loads of problems with the signal. You could see it on the FPV. It would do 4K 60, but it didn't like the U3 SD card that we were using, even though it's a perfectly legitimate U3 SD card. And I tried it out last night before we brought the drone out. So yeah, just certain things, with these sort of cheaper drones kind of give you a problem. And you just, I don't know, you're left baffled. You're left baffled as to why it does that. And to be fair to the Fimi, I've given it a bit of criticism in the past, but actually it is much more closer to a DJI drone. Maybe some of the smart tracking features don't quite work very well, but it's not that far. It's not as bad as the Xeno. The Xeno for me, I just felt like I couldn't get it to do what I wanted. So whereas the Fimi, I can trust it. It's heading off to that pier now. It's going down the beach. It's no problem. I'm having no issue with the signal. Brilliant. Maybe I had a bad one. I don't know. I'm going to fly over the pier, and then I'm going to come back down towards us, and we'll have a go at flying around the salt flats here, because it's quite cool. It's very open. There's nobody on it because it's wet, so you can fly around it really fast and have a really good go. So right, so we're going over the pier now. Yeah, brilliant. This drone just doesn't let you down. I mean, waypoint mode aside, which I don't think many people are too bothered about, and I'm sure you can get to grips with it. To be honest, my fingers are killing me. That's one of the main reasons not to do it. So where are we? We've now gone 1,300 odd meters down the beach. It's fail-safe return. That's because I turned the controller away a bit. For more than it lost connection for more than a couple of seconds, so it will do a fail-safe return. It's a bit annoying that it does it so quickly, but I think it's to get you out of trouble. Now, I was in no trouble because it never really lost control for more than a blip. But yeah, I don't know. There are downsides with the Fimi as well. It can be a little bit weird, but I would say, compared to the Hubsan, fantastic. Compared to that Xeno 2 Plus, I'm really happy with it. So yeah, it's coming back now. It's happy. We're going to do a bit of a fly around the salt plains when it gets back here. I think that's what they're called, salt flats, salt plains, I don't know. But we'll do a little bit of a fly around here. Maybe get some nice, footage of over there. I reckon this will be your sort of cinematic footage. let's see, we need it to return home first, of course. It is returning, so yeah, I think that the Mini 2 and the Fimi, they seem quite reliable. You can see what's going on the screen. It's a sunny day and the sun's behind me. It's difficult to see the screen, but I still can see what's going on. When I had the Xeno 2 Plus out, I couldn't really make out what was going on. I was struggling with it. I was really struggling. So, you know, I can see that Fimi coming back to me, and it's doing its job. It's doing, you know, hopefully it's getting nice footage over the beach. But yeah, let's get this in. Let's go around here. We've got a helicopter. Oh, no, actually it's a small light aircraft there, but we're not very high. We're not up like at that height, so we should be all right. But yeah, that's quite low. It's lower than I thought it would be around here. But yeah, anyway, it should be on its way back now. But yeah, we're quite low. We're nowhere near that. You know, it's much higher than it looks. So hopefully it is heading back to us now. And it won't gain altitude. We're not sending it higher, so it should be all right. Yeah, it's only at 60 meters high. But yeah, maybe they like flying around this area and having a look. It's quite a nice, beautiful little area. So hopefully, here it is. It is a good, do you know, I just don't regret getting the Fimi now. If I were you and I had a choice between a Xeno 2, a 2 Plus and a Fimi X8, I must admit, the Fimi X8, I wasn't sure. I watched lots of different reviews and I was kind of trying to work it out. Also, I wonder if it'll land on the landing pad, because it's looking for the landing pad. Now, it's a very windy day. It'll probably land on my head, but yeah, it's not finding it, I don't think, but I might be in its way. Oh, it's detected it. It's detected the landing pad. Has it really got the landing pad? It almost looks like it's over me. I tell you what, that Xeno couldn't find its landing pad in the wind. And this Fimi, I think it's finding its landing pad. I reckon that's found the landing pad. Yeah, it's kind of veered off the landing pad, but you know, that is fantastic. That is fantastic for like you know, for the wind that's going on. That's brilliant. Right, anyway, so I'm going to start the recording up again. That's the other thing. You're kind of in the right recording settings. I think that's the problem with it. You know, the Hubsan reset it didn't just reset it between flights. It reset it between, you know, you just turning the recording on and off. It was really confusing. So anyway, we're going to take off again. Oh, this wind really dries out your throat. But basically, we're gonna have a look over the salt plains and see if we can have like kind of a nice fly around, because you know, it's really nice flying around here. In fact, we took the Hubsan for a bit of a dart around. In fact, we probably want to gain a bit because we're only about 4 meters off the ground. But basically, you know, the drone is flying around lovely around this sort of scenic area, you know, and yeah, it's just looking really cool. I just hope the birds don't sort of try and attack it. See it as a bit of there's something to like kind of go after. There's a load of birds kind of going towards that direction. Hopefully it's not. But yeah, I don't know. For me, it just the Xeno 2. Apart from when it was flying around these salt plains, it kind of did that all right. I couldn't work out what was going on half the time with it, you know. And you need to be able to work out what's going on with these drones, because it's, you know, safety really. So anyway, right. So what I want to do is I want to head back towards our direction, just see what kind of view we're getting over things, see if I can fly. But I'm flying quite low. I don't want to fly too high because that plane's above there, and we don't want to get anywhere near the plane. But yeah, I want to head back towards the leisure centre over there where I am. Yeah, you need like kind of something to get your bearings on, and obviously leisure centre is really good for that, because there's a big building. You basically make out where we are, I think, over there. So yeah, I can see the drone coming back towards me now, so it's kind of like swaying in the wind from the, hang on, it's going that way. Here we go, should come up over us now. Woo! Yeah, it's looking good. Em's and Rachel's down there. See if we can sort of turn around and have a view of them, can we? Where are they? I think they're... Hang on, can I drop the camera down? Yeah, drop the camera down a bit. There they are. Oh no, that's not them. That's some bloke probably. Is that? No, that is Emily. No, that's Emily and Rachel there. So yeah, that's them. Right, anyway, so basically you can... Yeah, this drone is just so manoeuvrable. I mean, the Hubsan, to be fair, was manoeuvrable. If you could just watch it in the sky, if you could just like look at it from where you are, you know, if you just watch it kind of like with your eye, I could kind of like control it. But you know, this is really cool because it kind of feels like flying like a you know, a remote controlled aircraft about. You know, it feels really cool. But yeah, basically it's just really manoeuvrable. But I mean, the Hubsan was doing that. The Hubsan was doing that, no problem. What it wasn't doing was basically the normal drone stuff, which was like kind of flying, you know, up and down the beach, you know, and getting good shots. That was the bit that kind of I struggled with. I mean, I won't see the footage till tonight, but this is flying really well around the beach. You know, we're getting really good shots. We're flying around like a Spitfire here, and it's just phenomenal. And the Hubsan did do that. The Xeno 2 did do that. But you know, look at those birds down there. Pretty amazing sights, really. Oh, this plane is really flying around over the top of us. But he's much higher up. We're not going to go anywhere near that level, I think. You know, we'll just stay low, I think, now. We don't want to get in anyone's way. You know, it's interesting because when I put it into like, you know, is it okay to fly here, and it said it is, because there's nothing there. So you know, they're flying quite low and over this area, so presumably they know they're meant to be there. But yeah, we're getting good views over here. I wonder if we can go out over the sort of wet beach area over here. Let's gain a bit of altitude and go and have a look. I mean, we're kind of using up the battery a bit now, but yeah, it's you know, it's beautiful out in this area. Can I pick the camera up a bit? Let's try and pick the camera up so you get a view of the sea there. I just feel like the Fimi, it just feels like kind of reliable, dependable. You know, very similar like Mini 2 type quality, just dependable. You know, you can rely on it. You know, it'd be interesting to see what our shots are looking like as well, what the footage comes out like. Of course, the Xeno 2 can do 60 frames a second. This can only do 30, but it's mainly useful for slow-mo footage. It will look a little bit smoother potentially with 60 frames, but I don't know. You know, 4K 30 is fine. I mean, to be honest, when you upload things to YouTube, will it kind of ruin everything anyway? Will it kind of, you know, compress it? I don't know. So yeah, we're getting some nice views here. This is quite nice. We've got the tilted horizon again, which is it's the main downside with the Fimi, I'd say, but I don't know. The thing is, it works. The drone is reliable. And to be honest, I just feel like the Xeno 2 wasn't reliable. So, you know, that, and also the battery seems to be lasting longer. To me, to my mind, the battery seems better. You know, I don't think we had the Xeno up as long as this, and it wanted to like kind of come back. So yeah, I think there's something about the battery just didn't seem right to me on the Xeno. I mean, I think because it's a faster drone, it probably made, you know, probably used up more of the power. I wonder if we can actually stick the Fimi in the sports mode now, actually, and just kind of bomb it back towards us. And where's the sports mode? I always find that weird as well, though, where it's got, oh yeah, there it is. It's got a weird way of getting to the sports mode. You know, like most drones have like kind of a button on the controller to do it. That's another thing, the controller, I think the controller is much easier. Anyway, we're kind of heading back towards us now, I think. Yeah, we should be out over there. But yeah, basically, yeah, like normally on a lot of, you know, you've got like a cinematic mode, you've got like a kind of normal mode, and you've got like a sports mode. And this drone does have those things, but they kind of got to be accessed through, you know, parts of the, you know, inside the menu system rather than a button on the controller, which like the DJI drones have, and also the Hubsan has. But yeah, we're heading back, I think. Yeah, there it is, right in front of us. I was thinking, oh, it should be there. Right, so I want to bring it down a bit. Again, we're kind of, I think because we're filming into the sun, you're sort of seeing a lot of, you know, you're seeing a lot of like sort of problems with the light. Maybe when you turn around like that, I tell you, it's fast. It's quite fast, isn't it? Yes, we don't want to go too low because there are some crazy people over that way that have gone out over there, and I didn't know you could go out over here, but anyway. Yeah, look, beautiful birds down there. Right, I think the battery's probably getting quite low now, but let's see where we are. We're just coming back round this way, back towards us. We're over that. There we go. I think it's going to fly up over Emily and Rachel there. They're the two little people down there. There we go. Yeah. So it is definitely having a good time flying around here. I think when you're flying into the sun, it doesn't look too good, but now we brought the Mini 2 with us today as well, so hopefully get the Mini 2 out over here. But it's quite windy, so it'll be very interesting to see how it handles this wind. I know it can handle level 5 winds, I think, and it can do a bit better than the Mini 1, so we'll give it a go. But it's quite windy, and you know, because it's by the coast, you're going to get a lot of wind, you know. So, you know, even on the best of days, it'll be quite windy here. So there's Rach and Em, I think. I don't know if we can look down. Can we see them? I think it's probably the last thing it will see before it wants to land. So, right, I'm going to set it to land. I'm going to get it to return to home. It'll probably go up and then come back down again. But yeah, you know, I just feel like the Fimi is a drone that you can get out. The controller works, the software is pretty good. Yes, the motion tracking features of this drone are not brilliant. You know, that it doesn't quite, I thought the Hubsan in a way, the Xeno 2 did a little bit better. But I just think this is a more reliable, maneuverable, it's more of a pleasure to fly than the Xeno 2. I just felt like the Xeno 2 was like, it's just that the interface is clunky, you know, things don't work properly, you know. So yeah, if you want my honest opinion, I would go for a Fimi over Xeno 2. Yeah, I've only had one flight with it, but I remember getting this out for its first flight, and I never felt like hang on a minute. It eventually realised it was on the landing pad. But yeah, basically, fantastic. That drone just landed perfectly on there. It's in like relatively strongish winds. I mean, that's brilliant what it's just done there. It's fantastic. Look, the software is great. I think the Fimi software is very good. If they could sort the motion tracking out, the software itself, it's very usable. It's as good as DJI's in many ways. Maybe add some like nicer smart features, like saying, oh, you know, if you've got an object over there and you want to circle it, maybe you could just say, yeah, circle that, draw a box around it. That's the kind of thing that DJI does, and it does it really well. And the Fimi doesn't. It's kind of more of a manual bit. And of course, the original Mavic Pro, that's how that worked. You would, you know, set it over it and then do, you know, it's kind of, they've kind of basically stuck with what the DJI did originally. And of course, the DJI having to have more money, probably more development going into it, they've managed to come up with really cool sort of intelligent features. But yeah, I must admit, that is just night and day with the Xeno 2. Yes, it was my first flight on the Xeno 2, but that, I don't know, that just went up in the air and it did its job. Do you know what I mean? And you know, you got good footage. It doesn't have a fan, so the Xeno 2, that films in 60 frames a second, so probably produces a lot of heat if 4K, although yeah, try getting it into that mode even with a U3 card. This one, it does 4K 30, but it doesn't have a fan. The Mavic Air 2, which is sort of a, you know, the similar sort of size again, and does do 4K 60, that does have a fan as well. So I guess it depends on your components, what you need to cool it down, that kind of thing. But yeah, just you know, getting that Xeno, I just found the Xeno was really hard. And yeah, I'm not used to the drone, so maybe I'm not the best reviewer for it, but I took this out first time, had no problems like that. So yeah, I know this is like my millionth flight with this, but it just, my first flight was not difficult. You know, I didn't have many problems. In fact, you could probably see on my, you know, I think one of the first flights I did was on one of the first videos I did. So yeah, great. I love this drone. In fact, it's made me love it even more again, trying the Xeno 2. So, you know, hopefully we'll come back with another video from here and try the Mini 2 out. So basically, thanks very much for watching. It's, you know, it's been a pleasure flying the Fimi again. It's a great drone. I can't recommend it high enough. But thanks very much for watching. If you like the video, please click subscribe, or click like, or both. But thanks very much for watching. We really appreciate it. Hopefully see you again in the next one. Thank you very much.